I'm Sarah Brightman, and this is the Spotlight Define a Business. Well, when I was asked to be an artist and selected to be an artist for peace for UNESCO, it was a wonderful thing, and I felt actually experienced as a person at the age that I am, that it was something that, you know, I could fulfill. I think we're chosen as artists because of our travel around the world, talking to people like yourselves, continually doing interviews, doing concerts, being in the public eye. We can help just spread the name of UNESCO, and actually, when we're just talking about it as we are now, bring the general public's focus into that. Maybe go to their website, find out what they're doing, what they're all about. That's one of the things that we do naturally, and I think this has been interesting for me because of the perhaps forthcoming journey into space that I'm taking. I'm hoping that I can bring focus, especially if I'm looking at the Earth from the perspective that I will, or going around the planet in the way that I will, be able to bring focus to areas of the Earth that I will see from that perspective, and that areas of deforestation, areas of maybe plastic in the ocean, of war zones, so that it reminds people of what is actually happening on the Earth. I've also become very interested because as I was inspired as a child in the 60s by the sciences and the idea of space exploration, and obviously physicists at that time were very incredibly relevant. Of course they are incredibly relevant now, but there was a lot of focus on that time. I started at a later age, from being inspired at that time, to actually get into how many women are working in the STEM area, and there are only 20% of women actually working in this area, and there should be far more. So I started to put together sort of funds for young women who need actual help once they've got to sort of university in keeping their studies and going through all of that. So I've set up various things in that area, and hoping that maybe my journey also into space will, young women who could be engineers or could be future astronauts, cosmonauts, whatever, in this area, working in the area of sciences, can live vicariously through me, and actually, be inspired to do more in that area. So that's one of the few things that I can, and possibilities that I'm looking into at the moment as my role as an artist for peace. Mike was I've known Mike Hedges since I was 18, so there was a sort of shorthand between us, which was good. But this is the first album that I've worked with him on, and I was interested in him helping me with this because I knew, because of his experience as an engineer and a producer, and of working with all these types of groups in the past, he would be great in helping me create the right soundscape to bring all of these pieces from different genres and different times together. He has a similar to soul to mine, is that he has quite a gothic soul, but a very spiritual one as well. And I'm sort of similar. And I just, as soon as we started working, I knew that this would be a challenging but a very good journey that we would take together. So, and also working with Sally, I mean, she's a wonderful musician. She plays violin, she plays cello. Her father was very important in the classical area of music in his musicianship, and she works with incredibly well with classical musicians and creating wonderful arrangements. But as well as understanding totally the rock and pop world and the world that we often are working within. I definitely made a decision much earlier on about not being a composer myself. I felt that I could bring more to interpreting music rather than composing, because I think if I'd been a composer, I would have been composing one piece all of my life and never got to the end of it. That's definitely something I am good at and have done a lot in the past. When occasionally you've seen my voice, in the credits in my albums, crediting me as part composer, that is definitely what I have done. I know that I'm definitely can be very inspirational to great composers. In certain ways that I talk with them, with my ideas, with my creative vision that I've been given as a gift. But the actual sort of composing of it, I think I can do very naturally from natural human passion as I go along. But I don't think I could do it all.